Welcome to episode, I believe, 9 of the Grapple Gurus podcast. And what a weekend.
Oh,
There was a lot going on this weekend. A lot.
Yeah.
The main event was All In, but you also had the Evolution pay-per-view. You had
Ring of Honor,
Ring of
Supercard.
Honor. You had Saturday night's main event. You had
Great
Goldberg retirement match.
Great American Bash,
Had it all.
NXT,
We've had it all.
everything.
Evolution.
What a time to be a wrestling fan. Yeah, spoilt.
Yeah.
Definitely
There's a lot
spoilt.
to
Especially when
watch.
you've got a stacked women's division, but
Yes, are you mad?
in
A whole
AEW.
pay-per-view.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Where do we start? I don't know. Do you want to? I don't even know whether. Do we go in chronological order? Do we save the best for last? Do we just
I
go?
will say, just while it's fresh, obviously it's still fresh, but obviously, big shout out to the main man himself,
Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby.
All right, let's start with that then. So obviously,
yeah.
Adam Cole has seemingly, well, not seemingly retired. Let's not preempt anything, but he's given up the TNT title due to a mystery injury, stroke, illness. Do we know anything more about that? Do we know why?
I think on the dirt sheets suggest concussion, and the dirt sheets suggest he was going to retire there and then. But apparently he's been spoken to by some people, taken out the headspace, saying, listen, you're not in the correct headspace, we're making a decision, just go out there, give your speech, relinquish TNT, and we'll address it. Let's see what the doctors are saying in weeks to come, months to come. So hopefully wish him the best, obviously.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, get yourself better, and then we will talk about that when you're back.
Yeah.
And that was obviously a surprise to all of us. Obviously, I believe we mentioned it on last week's episode. We all watched it together, not live, but none of us had seen it at the time, and we all watched it at a venue together. So when the graphic came up on for the match for a fatal four-way for the TNT title, we were all like, "What the hell? What's going on here?" Like we didn't know what was going on. And obviously, Adam Cole came out. And yeah, even the way he was talking, you kind of felt like this is it. He wasn't really calling it an injury. It's just certain wording he was saying, health issues.
And I think Roy called it on the day. As he said, we watched All In live, live together. And I think Roink mentioned on the day, he said this is very Edge and Daniel Bryan-esque, this promo. And obviously we knew where that went. It went to their retirement, but ultimately they both returned. So hopefully, I mean, look, we'll talk about wrestling and we'll talk about real life. And wrestling-wise, I've never been the biggest fan of Adam Cole. I've always put my hand up and said that. Don't really see him as a main event star as some people do. But at the same time, in the human nature, yeah, like you said, wish him all the best, man. Hopefully he comes back. No one wants to retire by force. You always want to go out on your own, don't you? So
yeah,
I suppose.
Say that again. Sorry,
I was just going to say, suppose on that note of the human nature, a big shout out really to Swerve's entrance with
Jojo. Whoa! Nah, sorry. Hold up.
What?
Go back. My thought he was gonna give your kudos to Adam Cole. Man's talking about Swerve. Nah, we're going back. I'm not done.
Hang on. No.
Oh, wait. Let me. If you're gonna change the.
It was it's quite important. It's the human nature.
That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful.
No, hang on.
Chug, bro. Let me say my piece before you move on.
Oh,
that's actually
fine.
You're lucky Daz is not here because he would absolutely eviscerate you for that.
Okay, go on.
Try to just Adam Cole like that. Nah. Anyway, thought you was actually going to say something about him, but yeah, as I was going to say, even if he does have to retire, obviously I can't speak for him, but I would say, at least wrestling wise in his career, he's done a lot. Do you know what I mean? He's done almost pretty much everything you can do as a wrestler. He's had great singles runs. He's been a champion, in multiple companies, multiple positions.
One,
he's been
not the big.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he didn't win the big one in AEW, but NXT champ multiple times, tag team champ multiple times. He, main evented All In, Wembley. He's done a lot. Do you know what I mean? So at least I would like to think, at least if he does have to hang up his boots, he wouldn't retire thinking, "Oh, I wish I got to do this," or "I wish."
No, even his speech, he said it. He's lived his dream. He's done it all.
A lot of people don't get to do that. So,
I suppose what I was going to touch on around the human nature of what the first boss talked about was Swerve's entrance with JoJo.
I just want to say that has nothing to do with human nature, by the way.
Well, I think it does, because for JoJo, I thought it's nice that the company brought her in. I don't know how much she got paid. I'm sure family got paid a nice sum. But I thought it was a nice little homage. And I don't know if you noticed the little quirks. I'm a big fan of entrances, for those of you listening. And when JoJo was singing, there was fireflies in the back. I don't know if you noticed that. And it turned into Bray Wyatt's sign. Did you guys notice that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I thought it was a nice little homage. Obviously, playing Swerve's original sort of indie sort of entrance. I thought it was just nice, really, to give her that. And, I'm sure the family got paid a decent amount for what's a tough time. I thought it was quite nice. Quite a nice little gesture.
Unlike a lot of tribalistic, crazy, insane, weirdo fans, believe it or not, most wrestlers, companies are not. They don't care about that stuff. Like, they don't care about, oh, you like this, or you that means you can't like that, or your friends with them. I mean, a lot of them are friends, regardless of what company they work for.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
a lot of wrestlers are friends, regardless of what company they work for.
They are, but you can't say wrestling companies. You can't say they're not petty, because they are.
I mean, as a company as a whole, yeah. But I mean, I don't think the company. I'm saying that the entrance ultimately is down to the wrestler, isn't it? Swerve would have said, "Oh, I want to do this, that." If TK said, "Oh, I can't do that," or he wouldn't okay it. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I agree.
I suppose just on that point, two things to got pettiness. I mean, as I understand it, the dirt sheets say that Disney was against Sting inducting Lex Luger. Or whether that's true, I don't know. But, Lex was all happy for it. Toni was like, no one contacted me. Because if he did, we could have had a conversation. I suppose with pettiness, it brings me to Bill Goldberg.
We're just talking about All In, but okay.
I know.
We've got Saturday Night Live. We'll lead into that. We'll lead into All In, because that is a big event to talk about. But obviously Goldberg's final match, I mentioned in the group, it was quite disrespectful to cut him on his speech. We spoke about Netflix. We spoke about this is a new era where they've got poetic license. And then I compared it, obviously, to one of the best companies in professional wrestling today, AEW, and the send-off that Sting gave. And anyway, obviously, some people think it's room and innuendo. Some people think it's tribalistic. But we heard it today from Bill Goldberg himself. He's unhappy too. Your thoughts, Double A?
I mean, yeah, he's unhappy. All right. Oh, look. I don't know. Maybe you mistake me for someone who's like some big Goldberg mark. I'm not. When he was in WCW and he was doing his thing, yeah, he was cool, man. He was an attraction. I was like, rah, who's this guy? Strong, powerful, very impressive. He jackhammered a Big Show at the time. I was like, that's kind of mad.
There's nothing to do with the send-off.
I don't care if he's upset. Cool, fair enough. The people that were in attendance got to see it and hear it properly. People that are watching at home, oh well, I guess it's on Netflix or YouTube forever.
It's not on Netflix. To be fair, you've got mobile phone fan footage. People rely on that.
Yeah, it's on there. I'm not going to say he should be grateful that he got a retirement match, but at the same time, he got a lot. Even before that, like he never should have had that Universal title run, and the other things. It's difficult for me to feel that much sympathy for Goldberg as a human being because, quite frankly, he's a bit of a donut. I've said this in the group before, and you know what my main gripe with him is? It's not even Brett. Like, that's not even my gripe. I'll leave that for Dazzler. My gripe is, it's just so easy to not be a dickhead to other wrestlers, I think, especially uncalled for and for no reason. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't really care if he's upset. I don't really care. Right. And I'll just to elaborate on my point, if you want to say, you know what, to elaborate on my point, what my main thing is, what I'm saying is, when he was talking about Asuka, and he was like, oh, what did he say? Oh, I don't know what that name is, that Japanese lady or whatever, trying to dismiss her streak, because, you know, apparently he's the only person in wrestling that's allowed to have a streak that people talk about. And yeah, he dismissed her, and he was like, I wish I knew the exact quote, but he tried to pretend like he didn't know her name, that Japanese lady. Obviously, you know, Asuka, full of grace. She didn't cuss him. She didn't be like, oh, she was like, okay, cool, whatever. But don't act like you don't know who she is, bro. Like, if he wishes he was 1/4 of the wrestler she is, yeah? Let's not even go there. But anyway,
right,
yeah. I don't care.
Out of that whole rant, your point is you once again agree with WWE's decision making and disagree with the wrestler that does.
Oh, that's what you got.
Cool. All right. Anyway, but also I forgot to do the intro, so I forgot. My name is First Boss. I've been watching this product since '88. I'm probably the neutral one here. The voice you just heard before that on that rant is Double A, our WWE apologist, and we also have
Super Wrestling Fan,
who apparently owns AEW because it's his company, but I don't know. But
okay.
Speaking, let's just full circle, because you lot just are going everywhere at the moment. So you started off with we're talking about retirements, we're talking about Adam Cole, So let's just stay on that theme. The person that maybe should be retired, the person that I watched in 1988, beat Virgil and had beef with the $1 Million Man, is your TNT champion. Yeah. What's going on?
Mad.
I think
would that ever have happened if Adam Cole wasn't to relinquish title? No. So if it wouldn't have happened then, why are we doing this now?
We'll never know.
Well, it would never have happened because it would have been Carl Fletcher versus Adam Cole.
Right, that's my point.
Yeah.
So
they probably, if I booked it, and when we were watching it, if you remember, I called it and I thought it makes sense, right? Oh, give it to Carl Fletcher, the biggest stage of it all, right? But you do need to, and I would suggest, and I'll come on to this if I may later, All In is almost like, I would suggest, AEW's, it looks like they're WrestleMania. Yeah? Is that fair?
Yeah.
And then almost Revolution is like the beginning, or again. So you got World's End, that's the end, and Revolution, bang, we're starting all over again. But you do need some storylines to carry on. So perhaps, obviously, and we'll come into the matches later, you've got Omega, Okada. It could be that was the end. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I think when you look at the Fletcher situation, well, it's easy to give him the title, biggest stage. Who's this Fletcher guy, right? But then the next question, obviously, is who is the babyface going against him? Who I'd like to think he'll beat, right? But for me, with Dustin, he can put on a slow match and Fletcher could work at that. And Dustin will come out there, cut a promo, and he can cut good promos, Dustin. You've got to give him his dues. He'll cut a good rah speech promo, right? Yeah. AEW faithful. And it's it's book 101 for Fletcher to be that heel and literally broke him up. And then what way can you make an ultra heel by beating babyface Dustin Rhodes, the guy that gave us Rhodes versus Rhodes, a very good match, and it's got to be Fletcher. And I think you give it to him. Potential on a Dynamite, there's no harm in that. Or the next pay-per-view. I don't think there's any harm with it, but you continue the story. Whereas if you give it to Fletcher All In, as I mentioned, who does he face against baby? And there's loads of baby face. There's that guy Anthony Bowens. But no disrespect, I'm not interested in that for a Dynamite match. I'm interested in Fletcher to win, broke up Dustin, and you think, God damn it, look at that heel. He's a bastard. And then he continues his surge as this guy, and then it's almost like it's easy booking because as he brocks him up, there'll be like a staple. I don't know, beats him to a bloody pulp, and he rubs it against his chest, and he comes and cuts a promo. I beat your guy, Dustin. Dustin Rhodes beat him to an inch of his life, and it's screaming boos, boo. Whereas if you beat a fatal 4-way, wow, all right.
Nah, I will say just to your point, I don't agree on a couple points, but I agree on some. So obviously, if it was going ahead as it was, Kyle Fletcher would have most likely beaten Adam Cole. I think we all agree with that. I also think the reason
Maybe
they gave it to Dustin Rhodes to win that, Adam Cole had just said his piece before the match. It's a bit of not a bit. It's a big downer. You kind of want to lift the crowd back up with a feel-good moment. Dustin has never won a singles title in AEW, so
they were in Texas.
That would be the feel-good moment for him to win it, and it was. You saw the emotion,
and they're in Texas. That's a fair point.
As well.
That's actually a fair point.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Everyone's down about the
it makes sense. It makes sense. That's something that they had. They didn't have to pivot to that, but to just kind of bring things back up, I think that's fair. Now, in terms of Dustin having it holding that until another pay-per-view, no, thank you, no. One, he's got 3 belts, yeah. 2 of those are from Ring of Honor. He can't be. Not I'm saying he can't do that because AEW they kind of they mix and match with people who's on Ring of Honor and who's on AEW Dynamite TV anyway. But he doesn't need to have it until the next pay-per-view. Fletcher also beating him. He doesn't need to beat him and be a monster heel. He already is. He's already done that. He's already done the thing where he's battered someone. He's been covered in their blood. He's already a heel. There's no need. There's nothing. Him beating Dustin is not going to take him to a next monster heel level. He's already that guy. He's already a scumbag. They already hate him. And also, it's mad because going back to what I said a couple of weeks ago about Fletcher's wrestling style, which potentially is what caused Adam Cole's injury, is mad. But
that's a strong accusation there, man.
Well, hey, shout out to Tim because apparently I didn't say. I asked if that's what it was. And if you go back and look at the collision, he hit him with a clothesline and he didn't. He was gone, and the ref did throw up an X, and then they carried on. But yeah, it's all mad. But anyway, it happens. But
well, if that's the case, maybe that's why they didn't put the belt on him. They probably
that could be as well. But yeah, obviously, I do think Fletcher will win it at some point. But I don't think Dustin needs to have a long reign.
I think in your
feel good moment, get the crowd back on, get it on Fletcher at some point. Cool.
I think in reference to the ROH titles, I think you can easily do a storyline for him to lose those. The tag team.
But that has to happen on ROH. So I don't want to see.
No, that's fine. But the obvious storyline is Sammy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sammy betrays him. You get, and I think you lean into what
you ain't watching that.
Sorry.
So what's the point of that happening? You ain't watching that.
No. But there's 2 things to that. 2 trains of thoughts. So in order to prolong Dustin's reign, you have a Sammy heel turn that leans into Sammy's natural heel attributes, and you can have a story with Sammy and Dustin. Now you could do one or two things with that. I would suggest you either have Sammy go over, right, and you get the resurgence of Sammy because he's been out the loop for a while. Let's face it.
Okay. I'll be honest. There's not going to be a resurgence of Sammy.
Well, I'm just suggesting.
I've got new ones have been built.
I've got the pen. Now, what could you get? You can get a match between Sammy and Fletcher. That would be a banger.
You're not, because if you're saying Sammy's screwing over Dustin, then they're both heels, so you won't get that. The only way you're going to get Fletcher versus Sammy is if you do the opposite. Going by your original point of Fletcher brucking up Dustin, winning the belt, bloodying him up, and Sammy going for Fletcher for revenge. That's fine.
Yeah.
That works.
You could do it that way.
Face Sammy versus heel Fletcher, but you can't have Sammy turn on Dustin and then go for the belt. It ain't gonna. That won't work.
Yeah,
he ain't going for that belt. I promise you, that's not happening. And unfortunately,
that's a good point. And like when you said, you don't want to see if they do incorporate the Ring of Honor titles into the storyline, you can do it on AEW TV because it means something. It's progressing a story for AEW wrestlers. If you're just defending belts for no reason, I agree with you. Keep it off TV.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing it in to progress another story that's going to be told on AEW television, either on Dynamite or Collision, then you can do it. You can do it.
I think that's a possibility, basically.
Yeah, maybe Collision, but I just don't want it to be. Yeah, it's mad, I don't know. We'll see what they do. But I don't think it needs to be some long drawn out.
AEW All In. If we're going to talk about All In, we'll just do it. We're not going to go match by match, but I think that's probably.
I think you could.
Dare we say? Let me just say. Dare we say? Is it the best pay per view of the year so far? Is it AEW's best pay per view of the year so far? Is it overall best pay per view? What are we talking? Is it better? Was it better?
I suppose. And apologies, there may be a lag, and hope you can hear me okay. I've got, I suppose, 4 questions, and maybe we can go around the room and ask.
Also, actually, sorry. Before you ask your 4 questions, because it's going to be long. Just before we talk about All In, let's just finish off with Ring of Honor. Shout out to Oku, friend of the show. I'm going to say that because he liked one of our videos. Shout out to Oku
speaking of Ring of Honor,
Ring of Honor television, because big up Oku, man.
Anyway. Yeah, speaking of Ring of Honor, because I watch, as I've said multiple times, I watch everything. So, what made you watch Ring of Honor?
Just do it quick.
What made you watch Ring of Honor?
AEW.
Pardon? AEW. What? Ring of Honor Supercard just gone. That AEW made you watch that?
Yeah. No, just AEW television in general opened my eyes to other promotions like Ring of Honor.
I'm saying
WWE
Ring of Honor
everything in-house and pretending no one else exists. Yeah.
All right, cool. Ring of Honor Supercard had just gone this weekend. Yeah. What made you watch that pay-per-view?
AEW.
All right, cool. Receipts are coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Receipts
4 questions. Anyway, great pay-per-view by the way. Great pay-per-view
by the way. And as I've said, I'll just quickly, as I said, big up Oku. Sick. Nick Wayne. I can't tell you enough how much I rate this guy. He's sick. Had a sick match with Titan. Yeah.
And obviously main event, Takeshita, banger of a match. Banger. It was a good pay-per-view, so I'm not going to... It was a great pay-per-view. Probably second best wrestling over the weekend other than All In. Maybe Evolution beat it. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, go on. 4 questions.
So I suppose my 4 questions are... what is... I suppose it's 2 questions really, but it is 4 answers. In order... your top 3 matches from All In, in order. And the final question I've got for you, and this goes to perhaps the unseasoned fans out there who perhaps just have salt and pepper and don't like a bit of paprika in their meals or chili powder. Was All In better than Disney Mania? Yeah, and to the unseasoned fans, I mean WrestleMania. Was All In better than WrestleMania?
Right,
so Greg, top three matches.
Top 3.
In your opinion, and was All In better than Disney Mania? Yes or no?
So top 3 of All In has got to be... it's the obvious one, isn't it? It was Ospreay, Swerve versus the Young Bucks.
Okay.
For me, best match of the night.
Okay.
The tag team, the chemistry, the story that was told, the Young Bucks coming in, their entrance was super trolling because they came in, disappeared. What are they doing? The founding fathers. Listen, the Bucks know what they're doing. They get a lot of hate, but you know what? The Bucks know what they're doing.
They don't miss. Yeah. They don't miss.
Yeah.
They put on bangers. And if you think about all the greatest tag team, when people talk about, the greatest tag, was that the greatest tag team match? If it wasn't, then it was another match involving the Bucks, right? Yeah. They know what they're doing. The Bucks are top quality. That was my favourite match. Second was the main event, Moxley versus Hangman, which I think we're going to get into in a little bit more detail later. I won't go into too much. Yeah. But, and third, toss up between Storm and Mercedes Moné or Kenny and Kenny and Okada. But then I was just about to say, the gauntlet was very good.
Which
I really
gauntlet?
enjoyed the men's gauntlet match. The men's gauntlet match was really good.
Okay.
Actually, so was the women's gauntlet match. Do you know what? The card at All In was just... I don't think there was a match below 8 out of 10. Maybe the beginning match, the trios title. Slightly disappointed with that because I thought...
Yeah, I'd argue it wasn't. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but I think everything got better after that match.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Which maybe, obviously, we'll come to your last question first, final, first, boss. But maybe that was a good position to place it, arguably. Then, but
in hindsight, yes, because everything else was really good. So to answer your question, so that was my All In. But to answer, was All In better than WrestleMania? Well, we get a 2-for-1 special. What did Punk say? 2-for-1
bingo card or something like that.
Bingo card at WrestleMania. This was 5-hour spectacular. WrestleMania was probably an 8-hour, 9-hour altogether. So I don't know. There was a lot more matches on WrestleMania, but I think I enjoyed All In more.
Okay. Double A, same questions. Top three matches for you, and was All In better than Disney Mania?
Yeah, so my top 3 matches: Swerve and Billy Goat versus the Bucks. Easy. I said Young Bucks don't miss. Yeah, good match. Hangman, Mox, second. Even though the beginning, once they were getting into it, man, that was rough to watch. Like the violence in that match, understandably, but as it progressed, it got, I won't say less violent, but more into the wrestling side of it and graps and not kind of just, I'm gonna murk you. But yeah, great match, obviously, result and all that, the story and whatnot. And then third for me would be the men's gauntlet match. That was sick. Yeah, I think that was sick.
Interesting.
That would be third for me.
And the final question.
Are you gonna say? Or?
Well, you know what it is. Is Disney was?
Was it better? Yeah, I think so. I enjoyed it more, and that doesn't mean Mania was whack, but I enjoyed All In more.
Okay,
but I don't have any issues with that.
What, even more than Seth Rollins? Because you mentioned in the group about superstars, and you got to see Seth Rollins and Roman and Punk all in the ring at the same time. And
for someone who's neutral,
I'm neutral.
You clearly don't understand. Like I watch wrestling, so if I enjoyed one thing and I enjoy something more,
that's what I'm just clarifying. I'm just making sure you remember that you had superstars.
I enjoy watching wrestling. Yeah, they are. But I enjoy wrestling, so I can't lose. I can't watch something, watch Mania, and watch All In, and then I'm not wrestling in my head like, oh no, which one was better? I've watched them both. I enjoy them both. Yeah, I can like one more than the other. It's completely fine. Okay. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I can't lose. I couldn't lose this weekend. As much as you want to cuss, I could not lose this weekend. I know how much sick wrestling I watched. I'm murked.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We are all tired.
I'm quite thankful we didn't do yesterday because I would have done it. I'm tired still. Okay. It was hard staying awake for that whole thing, but I enjoyed it, of course, man. Okay. Of course.
I suppose I'll answer the question. For me, I agree. Swerve, Ospreay, and the Young Bucks was a very good match. I think, and we'll go on to obviously perhaps why. I think the Young Bucks have got to be there in the conversation with probably the top 5 greatest tag teams ever. There are, in my head, 4 matches that I think, when I think Young Bucks, I think Young Bucks Lucha Bros, I think Young Bucks Omega and Kenny, I think Young Bucks Sting and Darby, to be honest. Some very good matches, and obviously Young Bucks and Swerve and Ospreay. And I don't know the mechanics that goes into, right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I don't know. but the chemistry was just incredible. I loved it. And Swerve, what a guy, what an asset they've got. The
What I'd
next
say
match.
just quickly on that before, because let's just talk about it now and then we can move on. Don't need to talk about it later. But I've been a critic of this many times, and this isn't picking on WWE as much as AA thinks so. But I've been a critic of the kickouts. I've been a critic of kicking out a finisher after finisher after finisher. The Swerve, Ospreay, Young Bucks match got me a couple times. Them false finishes, they got me. And a few of them where you think it's over, it was broken up. It weren't just a kick out. It was broken up, which is how I think it should be.
Apart from the super EVP trigger and a couple.
Yeah, that was the one, the super EVP trigger, and then I think they done the TK driver, then and I thought, okay, that's it, done. But the false finishes, I think they laid out the match well. Towards the end, I didn't know who was going to win. I think we all said it. We was all sitting next to each other. We went, well, the Bucks are obviously going to win. Yeah. And then the result came out of nowhere. So, yeah, it definitely got us. But
I was generally surprised, to be honest. I think the story of the Bucks winning would have been a good story to see then the whole year of Swerve and Ospreay in the tag team division, can't challenge for the world title. But I think, as I sort of mentioned, and it may have not been a massive issue because you can book, and then a bit like Adam Cole, your booking goes out the window. But I think and a bit probably like Darby Allin, going obviously to Mount Everest, sometimes you don't want to book yourself into a corner and they get injured and you're like, fuck, we had these guys planned to win the tag team championship and defend Adam Cole MJF. Wasn't it? Yeah, and Adam Cole MJF, if you remember, they were tag team.
Yeah.
And that to sort of pivot with that. And
no, I agree with you.
And I hear that, and I feel like even with something like that, push comes to shove, if you need to pivot, you can just be like, we'll have a match and just have a different stipulation or, double. So I know it's not ideal, but you can ultimately...
it's wrestling.
Be like,
do what you want. Yeah. And that's what they did with Toni when he said, I'll never challenge for the world title ever. And then he thought, I just realised I can never be world champion. And he's obviously got a bit of an ego. If you listen to the latest Cody podcast...
What do you want to talk about?
I sensed a little bit of an ego there. I was like, no, I'm not liking this new Cody. But that's for another pod. That's not for today. Yeah. We can get into that properly because I know Rink's probably got a lot to say about that. But what I'm saying is, I always thought to myself, yeah, you booked that, and now you're a bit depressed about it and all that. But you can always reverse that, You can bring it into a storyline where you can't challenge for the title. But if you want to, I tell you what, if you can beat me in this and that, and you can always get back.
HBK. We thought his retirement done. He came back, so you can always bring these things.
But go on, that was your number one.
So number one. So my number two, without a doubt, I think it was strong contenders. But I think I've got to give it to Hangman and Mox. My reason for it, there was a lot of things. I really enjoyed Mox's reign. I liked what he's done, and people will only appreciate it now he's gone, because I think he's probably gone for a period of time, I imagine, is the fact that there was almost this power vacuum. Everyone wanted the belt. Who's going to beat Mox? And there was genuine questions, right? And what that allowed people to do is, we want someone to beat Mox, essentially. So it made you also crave Hangman. And if you remember, I posted in a group ages ago, like the evolution of Hangman is something to be studied. And you see from what this guy was a bit stale, Swerve's promo of him a year ago. And then he's obviously had this really good, fantastic storyline with him and Swerve. And I think they've evolved both careers. And I think that'll be a sort of Stone Cold Rock rivalry for years looking back. Anyway, I love the way he came out to his old entrance. There's little things. So if you look at the pan, they pan to the heel bit, where they come out. And then quickly, bang, they change the baby face bit, because AEW have the heel come out to the left and the face come out to the right. And Hangman's come out from the right. He's got his old theme tune back. He's happy, smiling. And that was nice. That was a little thing. And then what I liked about the match was realistic. I appreciate it's not everyone's taste, and you're not going to necessarily find this in Disney. But he put up the fork, and he's just literally chomping in it like it's jerk chicken, and then without you just saw the little beads of blood, and then before you know it, you blink, bang, pouring. I've never seen anything like that like before as realistic as that. You normally get the old scrape, they're pretending, and there's a bit of a blading underneath. The other thing I liked about it was the whole sort of Avengers Assemble feel to it. You got Daniel Bryan coming out, and what I quite liked about that, apparently Disney said, "Stop saying yes." There he is, Daniel Bryan. Yes, which is quite nice. And
technically, it wasn't him either. Technically, it wasn't doing it.
And then you had obviously Darby coming from literally from the roof, very string-esque, and then obviously Hangman wins. And there was a really good selling from Mox as well. Like I believed, I was like, right, he's got him with a chain. And that was quite nice. But then what I liked about the whole...
It definitely wasn't nice to look at. It looked... If someone just randomly walked in and was watching that on your TV and they saw that, they'd be like, what the hell is this snuff film you're watching, bro? Why is this man dying on...
Yeah, rewind that. Do you know what I mean? But what I also liked about it was obviously the ending, the feel-good moment. But little things, right? For me, the story. He opens a briefcase, bang, pulls out this belt that people, if you're tuning in, you're a new fan, or you've been a fan, get to see the belt. But what was also nice about it, it had Daniel Bryan's plates on either side. I don't know if you noticed that.
That's a good touch because it shows that it's been untouched. Yeah. Beat Bryan, it was in the case locked. Done.
I loved it. I'm a sicko. I was just like, this is sick. So before I move on to my third match, obviously I thought it was a good opportunity really to let you know your thoughts. The people want to know your thoughts and opinions on that match really, because we seem to all be in agreement so far.
Yeah, I was going to say there's nothing really more to say on it. I think it was the correct decision overall. We spoke about it last week as to who's going to take the Mox belt, what's the right decision, should it be Hangman, should it not? Well, anyway, all those questions were answered. I think it was the right decision. I don't think you could watch that pay-per-view at the end and go, that was wrong, or didn't like that match, or you could, like Roy said, you can dislike the violence, because there were times when I was wincing a bit like, this is mad. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the whole GCW style, smashing people over the head with light bulbs and glass. I don't really like it. I don't know. It makes me feel funny, right? But in the context of the match, I get it. Like, Mox it's been a reign of terror. He has brought hell upon all of these wrestlers, and this is the culmination of it, and it's a perfect way for him to get his comeuppance. As you said, I don't know what his contract situation is. I don't know if he'll go away for a bit. There was rumours that
he signed an extension, didn't he?
That's what I mean. I think he might have signed an extension, or his contract's still going, but I don't know if there's a get out. I don't know. There was talk of WWE wanting him back to do some angle with Reigns, but with the Rollins injury, I guess that's that. Anyway, I don't know. That's all speculation. Neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. That's for another day. But for now, what I mean is to end the Mox reign and to end the to see the belt and to have a new champion. Correct decision. All day. They could have, pulled the trigger on Ospreay. They could have pulled the trigger on Swerve. There was talk of Darby. That would have been the wrong. But Hangman isn't a bad decision at all. And I think he's good enough to carry this title for a bit. We'll see where he goes. Because I don't know where he's going to go from here. Like, is he going to go back to this music, his old music? Is he going to go back to the Hangman that was champion before, which a lot of people will say was an underwhelming run? Because this new character for him, I think, has done wonders. And he's got to stay in that vein.
Yeah, he can. He can.
But I think I suppose on that point, it's difficult. It's difficult that I suppose.
Wait, sorry.
Go on,
Before on the point of Hangman thing, sometimes you need to listen to me. Is what I'm going to say. Yeah, I literally have been saying probably since the first episode. I want to say potentially the second. I have been saying it has to be Hangman. It has to be Hangman. It's going to be Hangman. The stars are aligned. There's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. He's going to change his tune. He's going to do it. They're going to all come in. The Avengers. It's going to be a Mania thing. It's going to be a madness. So I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm definitely not saying that. And I know the First Boss would love to say that he's always right. I know he would love it. Yeah. But sometimes when the stars align, it is for a reason. And even though there's maybe like a small chance that they could subvert that and do something different, it was just too perfect for that not to happen. That's why I was so adamant. As much as you love this Reign of Terror of Mox, which praise the Lord is done. Yeah, it had to be done there. It just had to be. It would the deflation of just would have just been like, nah, come on, man. Like I know what you're saying, but no, it had to be.
I suppose the only thing I'll say is we've had the payoff, right? We've all it was a right decision in the context. I've always been on the fence, as you know. I've always been on the view of if it continued, I'm tuning in on Thursday, ready for Wednesday night Dynamite. You know what I mean? And I would have an issue with it because then it's like, right, if it's not Hangman, who can? Right, genuine question. The next question, really, I suppose, before I move into my third answer, is in the spirit of Bill Goldberg, who's next? Who's next for the Hangman? Because you now have this essentially babyface Hangman, yeah, with his new tune. The guy, some may argue it didn't work when he was a champion the last time, but this is the guy you got now. And I think with Swerve, when he had this heel run ish and his feud of Hangman, people warmed to him. And I don't think Swerve has really changed his character. I would suggest, whilst people, whose house? Swerve's house. People have naturally taken a liking to him. I don't think he changed his character. So I hope Hangman could do the same. But I sense, obviously he was crying, he did his press conference, I've been really emotional. I sense there would be an element of a bit more of a babyface Hangman. And I think the Who's Next will naturally be a heel. Really, perhaps a heel, maybe MJF. Who knows? Seems like a good story.
MJF's got the contract, hasn't he?
Yeah, MJF's got a contract,
so that'll be hanging over his head for a while. MJF will obviously be doing the whole, I'm going to cash in. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to cash in. Oh no, I'm not. He's going to do all that. But
even the Bucks will have beef with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got loads of people. Darby will be lurking. There's loads of people, man.
Kenny?
Not Kenny. He's lost, mate. You can get to the back of the queue, mate.
Well, you say back of the queue. Ladies and gentlemen, story.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go on. What's the story? You lost. You cannot then now fight for the world title.
Okay.
Okada has got more of a
So he's not entitled to a rematch clause, Kenny, for his world title that he lost at Full Gear?
Are you talking about Hangman? Are you talking about Okada?
Thank you.
You can't cash in your rematch now.
Why not? Full Gear.
No,
he went on an injury. I want my rematch for the world title that I lost back at Full Gear.
He's got to earn it.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe that's the story in itself. The redemption of Omega.
And that's fine. And that is going to have to be the story because at the end of the day, he lost. And for all intents purposes, relatively clean. Now, you can argue Callis pulled the ref out. He had the match won with the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
Fine. But for all intents purposes, Okada didn't hit him with a foreign object, didn't low blow him, he won.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I suppose my final match that I liked, and it's a very close one, this, because I'm a big fan, obviously, of the best wrestler in professional wrestling today.
What match?
Men's, that is, and that's obviously Kenny Omega. So obviously, my heart's telling me Omega and Okada for the whole feel of it, but I think I'm gonna have to edge them out with Mercedes and Toni. I loved it, and I loved everything about it. I'll be honest with you. I loved Mercedes' entrance. I loved the cheerleaders, their choreography with the entrance. I thought I was sick. I personally think you took out the 4 horsemen back in Disney. Sasha's never been. I'm saying Sasha. That was her former name, Disney, for the unseasoned fans that will know her. Sasha Banks. I wasn't really a fan of her. I'll be honest. But boy,
you had no reason not to, though. By the way,
but
just so you know, this is
but
purely based on she was in Disney, and I can't watch Disney because I can't be seen to be watching Disney.
I mean,
you have no reason.
Let's not forget. She has been around for a very long time, even before AEW was a thing. She was in Disney for about 10 years. I'm aware of Sasha's work, but this specimen here, during the Mercedes Moné, this whole belt collector, I loved it. And in my head, watching that match, I assumed that she was going to beat Toni. And when Toni won, I was like, rah, they kept on Toni. I was quite surprised. And I could already see a story for her of, listen, my eye wasn't on the prize. I wasn't focused. This is now beyond the belt. I just wanted to find out who's the best women's wrestler. I want to face you again, Toni. And if it means Toni loses the belt later, at least you can have a proper Toni versus Mercedes match. But I liked it. I love the entrances. I love the moves.
Proper match.
Sorry?
That was a proper match.
No, it was a good match. No, what I mean is, from Mercedes' point of view, the story can be my redemption. So it may be a losing streak. She loses her belts, and then she's like, bun the belts. Yeah, that was a distraction. I want you, Toni. And then you could have a proper non-title women's blood feud.
Nah, I mean, I think I like where you're going, but I would tweak your idea. I think Mercedes should now go on a lose every belt one by one. No, but you said that, so that's what I'm saying. That part's fine. But then you pivot back and say, my losing streak started when I lost to Toni. I need to redeem that, like what you said, but not non-title. It's for the title. Can't have it non-title. You've got to go for the title and then have her win it. And then she's lost every belt. She's on this losing streak, but then she beats Toni for the title.
Then you insert the obvious choice of Athena.
Well,
she's got the contract.
And you run it back. You run it back for the Owen Cup match. And then so you get your rematch Mercedes and Toni. You get your rematch Mercedes and Athena.
So you're not suggesting Athena cashes in
against Toni?
No, against Mercedes. You're saying she says, "I want a match with Mercedes. Let's go 1-on-1."
Yeah, but she cashes it in when Mercedes is now the women's world champion.
Yeah, I know, but not when she's not the traditional WWE cash in, winning while they're down sort of thing. You're talking.
I think Athena will be like, listen, Athena will be like, listen, you're one over me in the Owens Cup final. Let's run this again, right? Bang, got my contract, sign that. Let's have a match. You're the champion now. Let's see who's the best woman.
I'm not against that idea. That's good, and it will also enhance MJF's eventual scumbag cash in because MJF ain't handing no contract and demanding a match. We all know what MJF is doing.
Yeah, he's going to do it sneaky.
He's going to do what Christian failed to do.
Yeah, and I think it enhances Athena's character because when you're watching a Dynamite, and let's just say Mercedes comes in, she's good, she's running her promo. I'll beat everyone. I'll beat this woman, that woman. I went to Reno, Mexico. I went to Madison Square Garden. I went to Wembley. I went to Texas, stadium, all that malark. I beat Toni. I'm the champion. So it's you're very much, if you remember, Disney fans, the sort of rock promo he did in 2002. I've done it all. And then it's Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg comes out, so you can have Athena come out. So if you're very much like who, you then have Excalibur just run off. There she is. If she's still the ROH champion, there she is, the ROH champion. She's won. She's got one loss against Mercedes at the Owen Cup final. Bang! Quick clip of that. She is like the longest reigning women's champion of ROH. So it's a big deal. Like business about to pick up.
They've done this already.
I know, but
you've already hyped her up. So obviously that'll be in a video package.
Yeah, exactly. Just why is this a big deal? Why is this rematch a big deal? And then I just think it elevates who should be getting her flowers, Athena, but to your AEW audience, because there's a lot of content out there. Some people may not get the opportunity to watch ROH, AEW, Disney, all of that TNA, but I think that's a good way to book it. I suppose my final answer to my question was All In.
Wait,
go on.
That was all of it.
No, my final question was: is All In better than WrestleMania?
Oh well, that's like asking you. That's like saying what? That's like saying is the sky blue?
Yeah, does KFC sell chicken? Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Do we breathe oxygen?
Yeah,
we already know.
Of course. It was better by miles.
You haven't even watched. You probably didn't even watch it.
No, I didn't. Why watch that?
As much as you pretend that you hate, you watched a couple matches here and there, but I know you just did like your highlight skimming.
Yeah,
articles, skimming, reading. You didn't watch it. So
All In was sick. It was so much better than Mania by miles. Like, I just loved it. To be honest, I loved all of it. The women's gauntlet match was sick. You obviously talk about Evolution. I know nonsense.
Yeah, you can't talk about that.
Yeah. All right, well, look.
You can check the group.
All right. Let's get some.
And I can post receipts, but I promise you, the thing is, the way you was going on, I wish viewers, listeners could see how rank was going on when the women's gauntlet match was. I've never seen someone so excited.
That's going to his point, isn't it? He's
no. Wait, let me finish.
All right, go on.
Roy was getting excited at roll-ups, yeah? And Queen Aminada doing a kip-up. Like, you'd never seen a kip-up before. And that's fine. This is what wrestling is about. Enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so, all right. So,
when other people tell you something is enjoyable or sick, you can't just be like, oh,
okay, so then answer this question, please, because the women's gauntlet match, and Mercedes versus Toni, was anything on the Evolution card better than those matches?
Yeah. And that's not even.
So what?
That's not
name
even,
it. Go on, tell us. Tell us.
You can check in the group. The main event.
Io Sky. I want you to tell the viewers.
I'm telling you as well. Io Sky v Rhea Ripley. Yeah. For the title, the main event. Listen. Remember when I was like, you can laugh. That's fine. That's okay. You haven't seen it.
No, let him talk. Let him talk because we know.
As much as
we want to know.
As much as you love the entrance and the cheerleaders, whatever, that's cool. That's fine. But you haven't seen it. I've watched it all. So
yeah. So go on, tell us. That's what I'm saying. So what? So
that match. Remember, Dazzler, the anti. We can call him the anti-women wrestler hater. Yeah. He said Charlotte versus Tiff was, I think it was a 6 point. Did he say it was a 7? I think he said it was a 7. Check the episode. Yeah. He then said, remember, he actually said, wow, where was it? In Saudi. Wherever it was. Can't remember. He said,
Raquel versus
Raquel, he was actually quite sick.
I agree, but that's nothing to do with Evolution. The question I'm asking.
All right, cool. But I'm saying that the Evolution match, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I promise you that match was insane. 100%. The opening match, the triple threat, Becky, Bayley, and Lyra, was a banger as well.
The thing is, right? That I'm sure
you can screw up your faces and be like, it's impossible with Disney. Who is that?
No, I'm not. No one's
the thing is, there was probably a match on RevPro or somewhere, in the world, Triple R, maybe CMLL. There was probably a match out there that was very sick. There's probably a match out there in the world that's brilliant. But ultimately, do we care? No. Io Sky.
Even Mercedes Moné. No, you can't. I'll tell you this for free. You cannot slander or say anything about Io Sky when it comes to wrestling.
Well, yes, you can. Can't. Yes, you can. Because Triple H don't care about her.
No, you can't. Okay, that's why let me even talk about accolades. You want to talk about anyway? Your Mercedes Moné even said, that match.
Triple
levels.
H, your chef.
So that's not.
Your chef doesn't care about Io Sky. When was the last time she does a promo? Did she do promos, Io Sky?
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
are you all right? You wouldn't know. You don't watch.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she does.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I'm just checking.
Next question.
Right. So just to confirm, because I still don't know what the answer is. So
I've literally told you
so
two.
But are you saying then that main event, Io and Rhea, was the best match of the weekend?
Women's match,
Women's match. Okay, so it's better than Toni Mercedes.
Yeah, it was, and I'm not. That's no part.
No, I'm not exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you understand.
Asking your opinion.
When Rank asked me if All In was better than Mania, I said, yeah, it is. It's not a part to Mania.
I'm asking you, is that what's confirming? Is that what you're saying? And if the answer is yes, it's yes.
It doesn't mean
we didn't say it's a bad thing. No one said it's bad.
No, but you're like,
I'm not. I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking.
How can that be? How can that be?
No, it's not. I'm not saying how can that be.
The thing is, if you actually just watched it, yeah.
Okay, can I ask another question? No, I will watch it. I will watch it because I'm gonna. And I'll tell you why I'm gonna watch it. And this is genuine from my heart because my daughter wants to watch it. She's very excited, and I'm gonna sit down and watch it with her because I'm not gonna deny her watch it. Like she's been very much looking forward to it, and I will watch it with her. We just haven't had a chance because it's been a busy weekend with lots of stuff going on, so we haven't had a chance. Yeah. However,
I think she will have a new. I think she will have. I won't say new favorite, but I don't know if she likes Lyra yet. But I feel like she's been on TV a bit more.
Yeah, she does like Lyra. She likes Lyra a lot, but she's just Bianca and Jade. Those are her two favorites. Oh, and Asuka, actually. She likes Asuka. But anyway, my point is, forget her for a minute. When you saw the women's gauntlet match, did this is a genuine question, and Evolution, did they do their version of a gauntlet? Was it a battle royal or something?
No, it was an over-the-top battle royal.
Yeah. So, but a bunch of wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah.
When you compare the two divisions, from what you saw on AEW, the women's division, in that gauntlet, because that basically showcased everyone other than the two top stars, right? And what you saw at WWE Evolution, who has a more stacked roster and compared in the two, in your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, I can answer this factually, but you lot won't know. You'd be like, "Who's that? What's that?" So, like, I could name female to female.
I want you to do comparison.
Like,
I'm just asking a question. Which one is more?
This one's better than that. This one's better
than that. Ask that.
You won't.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Just give us a general yes.
The battle royale in Evolution wasn't as good as the casino.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That's it. So we don't need.
The women. You can't compare the level of women wrestlers in WWE to AEW.
Why not?
You can't. You can't. Sol Ruka, Lash Legend, Io, Rhea. You can't. Lyra, Becky, Bailey. You can't compare. Charlotte. It's not. I'm not even Tiff.
What about them?
You can't compare. You can't compare. What are you going to talk? You're going to tell me about Anna Jay and bloody Sky Blue? Come on, man. And
Megan Bain
and Julia Hardy Girl's Heart. Come on.
Megan Bain, Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale.
Stagnated though. Who?
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, I love Willow, but she's not levels compared to them.
Right?
No, she's not.
Willow.
Are you actually gonna try? You're gonna compare. You're gonna try to tell me Willow is in the same bracket as Io and Rhea and Tiff.
But you also said Lash Legend. So are you saying that Willow is not on levels of Lash Legend? Because that's what you said. That's your words, not ours. Isn't it? You mentioned it. And then you're going to talk about Megan Bain and Sol Ruka.
Yeah, not even the same league.
So these are your words.
You think Megan Bain's a better wrestler than Sol? Why am I asking if you think?
Yeah, I do. I've called out from day dot. Day dot. I think she's incredible.
Megan Bain, listen, ratings to Megan Bain. She is sick. Her stock is constantly rising. Yeah. But her stock is not as high as Sol Ruka. That's a fact. That's not even. That's not a part. And that doesn't mean I'm not saying she's not a good wrestler. That's not a part. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Okay. I'm have to leave the group.
Sol Ruka is not even a wrestler. She's not even like a wrestler. She's not even. She was a surfer.
Exactly.
She's an athletic surfer.
How dare you now say that she's miles above. Do you know what?
Who?
Pod here, because
who's miles? I never. Who? I never said they're miles above Megan Bain.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
You said they can't compare. That's what you said.
No, I said Willow. I never said Megan Bain. Don't do that. This is what I'm saying.
You said Megan Bain.
I watch wrestling. No, I didn't. You just mentioned Megan Bain. I said Megan Bain is sick and her stock is rising, but she's not at the same level as Sol Ruka. Her stock is not as high as
You're mad. Listen, I know winning the Disney Speed title is a big accolade, but
that's not wrong.
But I'm sorry,
she's North American champion. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's so sick. But
it is. Megan Bain fought Toni Storm, Obviously, that's good for her. That's good to get like a fighter champion, get the experience, whatever. And her stock has been rising.
Get the experience. Do you ever see the stuff she's been doing in Stardom?
Don't talk about Stardom. Let's not do that again. Let's not do that again. Let's not do that again. This is why. Do you know how insane that sounds? You're gonna tell me. Listen, that's great. Let me just ask you. You're gonna.
I can't trust your judgment, Aaron.
You're gonna sit there.
Sol Ruka.
You're gonna sit there on this pod. To all 28 of us or whoever it is, and say that you watch Stardom, but you're cussing.
Who was the first person to call out Megan Bain?
Get out of here.
Who was the first person?
You did post some Stardom.
Just because you posted her, that doesn't mean you watch Stardom.
I know, it doesn't mean that, but I'm just saying.
Clip of her entrance. But he's gonna sit there and tell me he watches Stardom. Come on.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you know what?
Listen to this.
Full disclosure.
You watch Stardom.
All right. Fair enough.
A promotion that is about women. But you didn't watch Evolution. A pay-per-view.
Full disclosure. Do you know what? All right. Listen. Do you know what? I'm gonna put my hands up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Megan Bain is not a good enough surfer than Sol Ruka.
You need to apologize. Make that make sense.
Mate, the thumbnail, Greg, for this episode is going to be Megan Bain on the surfboard.
Make that make sense. Right, make that make sense. You can't.
Yeah. Right, listen. I think we're all tired. We've been going. This is an hour long now, so I'm making an executive decision. We're ending it here.
But before you do, though, if you haven't watched Ring of Honor Supercard, watch that.
100% agree.
I said that weekend there was so much wrestling that, honestly, from top to bottom, was great. Really, really good show. It had no right being as good as it was, but I don't know. It was great from top to bottom.
No, agreed. If you're going to watch anything, watch All In and Ring of Honor. Skip everything else. But there is a lot of stuff we've skipped. No time. We're not going to go through it. The Seth Rollins injury. Where does that go from here? Where does that take the whole storylines? We've skipped over that. Obviously, the Goldberg match against Gunther. Did we like it? Didn't we like it? Where do we go with that world title? That's next week. The SummerSlam stuff. I know there's a stacked main event to see who's the number one contender. Talk about that another time. So we have deliberately not spoken about it because we ain't got time. So with that being said, I guess if no one else has got anything burning desires to say, we've spoke about All In, we spoke about what we think, and we'll continue the rest later. Hopefully the Dazzler will be back. If you can leave a comment, if you can subscribe, if you can like this. As I said, we're just trying to grow the channel. Got very few listeners and subscribers at the moment, but hopefully we'll get more and more. Hopefully Michael Oku will like this video as well. He's a friend of the show after his battle at Ring of Honor. What a match that was.
I can never pronounce his battle against H. I can never pronounce his name. What's his name?
Yeah, I can't.
The Alchemist.
Yeah, there you go. Call him the Alchemist.
Hechicero? I don't know. I'm probably butchering his pronunciation.
But it was a great match. It was definitely a great match. Also, shout out to Gabe Kidd. I thought Gabe Kidd, he was good. He was good also. I didn't really mention him. He was good in the trios match and later on. Very good addition to Death Riders. But who knows what's going to happen to Death Riders now anyway. So, anything from yourself, Rank?
No. Just another amazing pay-per-view for AEW. Never miss. So, definitely recommend if you're an unseasoned fan, just put a bit of Cajun pepper seasoning on your food and your dish, and you won't be disappointed.
Double A, anything?
No, man, that's it. Good weekend of wrestling. Yeah, like I said, this is the best time to be a fan of wrestling.
All right, cool. And also a quick big shout out to Play Nation in Croydon for being wonderful hosts. Go and check out if you want to buy any games, any cards, anything to do with what would we call it? Play Nation, anything to do with gaming culture, anime, anything like that. Play Nation Croydon, anything you want, head over there.
CCGs.
But yeah, until next week. See you later.
Peace.